cliche, to get things going. He is in court, just like he said.
And what he said was that they told him that his presence is overheating the polity. He pulls a lot of crowd on the streets, and perhaps they say the huge followership is what is making them uncomfortable. That's the claim.
So, but even if he goes abroad, he will also be on the streets of. We also see how people approach him on the streets of London, on the streets of.
And everywhere. At least the crowd will leave the country and go elsewhere.
But why should the large followership or the people that follow him be a problem? You have been declared winner, isn't it? And I know why all these talks are coming up is because the ruling party is one that has won. If, let's say, it's the PDP that won or the NNPP, I think maybe this accusation will be directed to PDP because maybe they are unsettled. They are not sure if the court will upturn the victory. So, but these comments, it clearly shows that some persons are still afraid. You have won, you have married a wife, you are still scared that the former boyfriend or the boyfriend will come and snatch the wife. That is what is happening here. So I think there nerves need to be calm. We need to direct our conversation as people in government. Direct your conversation. Well, look at Lai Mohammed. So facts are still coming on from the U.S., Washington D.C., where he granted interview. He's still making some comments, and he's still saying that.
No, he clarified the comment.
He said it's the media
he did not say that INEC withheld. That's the clarifications that he made.
He says it's the media that reported what they want to report. And he went forward further to say that the Western world are supporting the activities of some terrorist organization. I think at this point, as Steve has said severally, we need the unifying words from our leaders, the unifying words from government, and not words or not comments that will keep creating that fanning the embers of disunity and war. Because for you going to break down the audio tape, for example, Amici, as we have said, is not good, it's not encouraging. What we should be doing is to try to see how the religious leaders can, on their pulpit, preach peace, and even the political leaders preach peace in their comments.
And I think, Amici, the General Abdulsalami Abubakar Peace Committee has work to do here.
Now,
they should wade into this matter. Talking to Peter Obi himself, talking to, and I'm sure they will also have access to the names of the persons that are alleged to have met Peter Obi and told him, to leave the country, and all of that. Even also talking to the
so that's to go and self-exile.
Yeah, it was when we had this exile thing was when we had the military that the president-elect, for instance, and some other persons, David Mark, those days and all of that went. I think we've gone past that. Even though some persons like the former PDP deputy chairman, national chairman, Bode George said, Chief Bode George said, look, if
Tinubu becomes president, look at Sierra Leone.
And I asked him 3 weeks ago whether he will implement that threat. He said, why not? He told me that he has options, that all he needs is a green passport.
Exactly.
That there are so many countries he can go to without even visa. Benin Republic, Ghana.
But now will be after May 29. So we'll wait to see. And we also saw how Professor Wole Soyinka and others said they would tear their green passport if Trump wins the election. Whether that was done. So what I'm driving at, we've gone past that age. Nigeria belongs to everybody, and as long as we can manage the situation, we should. So the General Abdulsalami Peace Committee, this is post-election challenge that we have. They should wade into the matter, see how they can talk to the president-elect or the president. If it means bringing them back together again, let's see that. Because I know that even after the 2015, we still had the challenge with the former First Lady and the government and all of that. They still wade in, to see how some of the issues can be resolved. This is the time, now that the alarm has been raised.
They wade in when the former...
Recall when her property and some of those things, were being about to be demolished and all of that. There was.
You're talking about Patience
Jonathan. Yeah,
there was a kind of political settlement.
A settlement,
and there was no political settlement for the arraignment of Trump in the U.S.
Even if you say there's no political settlement, concessions have been made. No, concessions have been made. And don't forget, in the animal kingdom, all animals are equal. Clearly,
No,
if it were another person,
no political settlement. When a former president is involved in US, why should there be political settlement? When the wife of a former president is involved,
there was political settlement. There was a form of concession. If it were an ordinary citizen, he would have been handcuffed.
Trump is not an ordinary citizen in the US.
He would have been handcuffed. Definitely.
Yeah, he would have been handcuffed.
So that was the concession.
Yeah.
And then stop the law from taking his
and then his mock pictures would have been taken. But all of that were waived because he is Trump, a former president. Yeah. So in as much as we think that there are concessions here and there.
And you still respect the office because he's a former president, whether elected or not. He wasn't impeached.
No, he was impeached twice, but not removed
from office.
But the major thing is that he was taken to trial. That's the biggest humiliation. Others are ancillary to it. Whether now it's like I sent you to prison, but why in prison? You didn't wear prison uniform.
So you are in a private room somewhere.
No, but let's also forget he's still innocent.
Yeah,
he's still innocent. You know.
And he's taking a dig out of them, saying that even they want to put down US and they will not succeed.
I mentioned there are developmental issues.
But let's hear from our listeners and let's share some of the emails we sent to our platform.
Good morning and welcome to the segment.